This morning, the 15th of July, 2025, Guizhou province is once again plunged into mourning, as relentless overnight rain unleashes the region's worst flooding in years. Nestled deep in the mountainous heart of southwestern China, Guizhou's rugged terrain and landslide-prone soil have only worsened the scale of this disaster. In particular, the counties of Duyun and Rongjiang recorded over 280 millimeters of rainfall within just 12 hours. The local rivers and streams were overwhelmed, spilling over their banks and submerging dozens of communities under a vast sea of muddy water. Torrents rushed down the hillsides like waterfalls, sweeping away everything in their path, including homes, vehicles, roads, and even bridges once thought to be indestructible. In Guiyang, the provincial capital, entire city blocks are now underwater. Major streets are closed off, while subway stations, bus terminals, and even hospitals have been submerged. CCTV footage captured a haunting scene as water cascaded down the subway steps like a waterfall, swallowing dozens of residents in thick, black floodwater. In rural areas like Kaili, Anshan, and Jinsha, farmland and terraced fields have vanished beneath thick, clay-like mud. Residents had no choice but to flee. Some climbed onto rooftops, others clung to trees or makeshift wooden rafts, desperately hoping rescue teams would reach them in time. Around 2 a.m., people were jolted awake by the roar of rushing water and emergency sirens blaring through the darkness. In the pitch black, muddy torrents filled with rocks and debris surged down the mountains, demolishing everything in their path. Videos taken by terrified residents show homes collapsing, cars floating like toys, and entire groves of trees ripped out of the ground. It looked like the end of the world had arrived in one of China's most treacherous landscapes. Footage filmed on phones across the region paints a picture of widespread horror. In one heartbreaking clip, a young woman screams desperately for help inside a home that's about to collapse. Her cries are swallowed by the howling wind and hammering rain. The walls around her crack and groan with terrifying finality, the house issuing its last warning before giving way. She doesn't cry. She only screams, with a kind of helplessness that chills the soul. Beneath her, rising floodwater. Above her, a collapsing ceiling. And around her, nothing but the silent, invisible countdown to death. Not far away, an elderly woman cried for help from the rooftop of her home. Below her, the murky floodwaters had swallowed everything, her yard, her vegetable garden, even the memories that once filled that space. Her wrinkled hands clung tightly to the tiles, her eyes lifted toward the gray, rain-choked sky as if pleading for a miracle. She had no strength left to flee, and no one by her side, only her desperate cries echoing across the endless floodwaters. On another cold, metal rooftop nearby, a woman lay curled up, soaked to the bone and utterly drained. She no longer cried, no longer screamed. Her eyes stared blankly into the distance where a road once ran, where her home, her husband, her children used to be now replaced by an endless sea of muddy waves and crushing hopelessness. In the middle of the raging current, a mother and her child clung to a piece of driftwood, floating like a fragile leaf in nature's wrath. They trembled from the cold or from fear. It was impossible to tell. Miraculously, they were rescued just in time by a passing emergency crew. Many families had to flee their homes in the dead of night, still in their sleepwear, carrying children in their arms and wading through deep, dark floodwaters in search of higher ground. The fear and chaos of those moments are now etched into the memories of thousands. In response, local authorities immediately activated a Level 2 emergency response. More than 8,000 rescue personnel, including military troops, armed police, and firefighting units have been dispatched to the hardest-hit areas. In Rongjiang County, over 120,000 residents were evacuated to safer locations, including schools, cultural centers, and private homes. Food, clean water, blankets, and basic medical supplies have been provided at these shelters. In Duyun County, a deadly landslide struck around 4 a.m., burying at least 4 homes. So far, rescue teams have recovered 9 victims, 3 confirmed dead, 4 severely injured, and 2 still missing. Search and rescue dogs and detection equipment have been deployed to the scene. Infrastructure in Guizhou has been pushed past its limits. Bridges have collapsed, roads have eroded, and several mountain highways have caved in. Entire districts, including Puding, Liupanshui, and Jining, are now experiencing widespread power outages. Residents have formed long lines for clean drinking water, as supply chains have been completely disrupted. Agriculture, the province's lifeline, has taken a devastating hit. Rice, corn, vegetables, and thousands of livestock have been swept away. Countless families now face the terrifying prospect of losing everything. And yet, with more rain in the forecast, the fear isn't over. The people of Guizhou are living in a state of constant anxiety, not just about the disaster unfolding now, but about what's still to come. Even so, in the darkest moments, the spirit of unity and resilience among these mountain communities shines like a guiding light. The flood will eventually recede, but the memories and the lessons it leaves behind will remain forever. Thank you for watching. Natural disasters like this remind us how quickly life can change and just how powerful nature truly is. The bravery shown by the people of Guizhou proves that even in the darkest of times, hope and solidarity can shine the brightest. If you'd like to hear more real stories of survival and the human spirit in the face of nature's fury, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Share this video to help raise awareness, and leave a comment below to share your thoughts. Stay safe, stay informed, and never underestimate the power of nature.